everyone. Welcome back to Elementary at Home. I'm Claire Novak.
And I'm Jeff Parrott. We're so glad you're back with us this week. We had a great time learning last week together. Now, Claire, I do have a couple of questions. First, are you hurt? Because I see there are Band-Aids all over the table. I was a little bit concerned.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. Look.
Okay, what's up with the Band-Aids?
Well, the Band-Aids are part of a really fun craft thing that we're going to do after the lesson.
Okay, that makes sense. But what's all the paper craft stuff for, too? The scissors, the markers?
Yeah, for this fun thing we're going to do at the end of the lesson.
Okay, well, if we're doing crafts, I left my hot glue gun at home, so I hope that maybe. But it's good that we're going to do this together. It's good.
I'm
yeah.
glad. Well,
I'm
you
excited.
are going to be excited because it's going to be a good one.
Okay.
But you're going to have to wait to see. Okay, so stay tuned. But today we are in our second week in our unit on
the miracles of Jesus.
Jeff, we had the thing planned. Remember, I was going to look to you with a big and then together. Okay, so let's try it again.
Okay, we
All
practiced this. I'm sorry.
Guys, we are in our second week on
The miracles of Jesus.
Hey, Jeff, real quick, we should probably review the word miracle again, right? Do you remember what a miracle is?
I do remember,
Jeff?
yeah.
Okay.
A miracle is a surprising and welcome event that cannot be explained by science or nature, and it's considered to be the work of God.
Now, Jesus performed 37 recorded miracles in the Bible, and every miracle that he did was to show who he is.
He's God.
And what he came to do.
He came to save his people from their sin and bring them back into a relationship with him.
So last week, we learned about Jesus' first recorded miracle. Do you remember what it was?
Turning water into wine. That would have been really cool to witness.
For sure. Jesus' miracles are signs that tell us about who he is so that we might grow in our faith and our relationship with him. Our elementary essential is that God is sovereign. He has the power to do whatever he pleases, and his miracles demonstrate this.
Now, today's miracle is one we can all relate to. It's something about someone needing healing. I'm excited to jump right in. We can read about this miracle in John.
That's right. Now, John is the last of the 4 Gospels, which are the first 4 books in the New Testament. They teach about the life and ministry of Jesus. But something is missing.
Hey, where's my coffee? Oh, that's better.
Oh, wait. Oh, much better.
Oh, me too. Oh, so much better. So much clearer.
All
Where
right.
were we?
Well, we were just about to read in John chapter 5 about this miracle. It says, Jesus was in Jerusalem by a pool called Bethesda. This pool was surrounded by invalids, people who were sick, blind, paralyzed. People believed a legend that when the waters of the pool were stirred up, the first person to get into the water would be healed. There were many sick people around this pool hoping to be healed that day. I can just picture it, Jeff. Can you? If you really, really use your imagination.
One man was laying on his mat close to the pool. This man had been paralyzed for 38 years. While he was laying there waiting for the water to be stirred, Jesus approached him. He knew he had been sick for a long time and said, "Do you want to be healed?"
The man replied, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I am going, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him,
"Get up, take up your bed and walk." And at once, the man was healed, and he took up his bed and walked. He was completely healed.
That is so amazing. But the next part of the story gets a little confusing. Okay, so we read on in verse 10. Now that day was the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a day dedicated to rest, and the Jewish people take it very seriously. God wants us to have a day of rest. It's a good thing, but the religious leaders in Jesus' day had taken this command from God and kind of twisted it and added their own rules. So the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath, and it is not lawful for you to take up your bed," because they viewed him carrying his mat as work, and people weren't allowed to work on the Sabbath.
But we read in the Bible that he answered them, the man who healed me, that man said to me, 'Take up your bed and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this man who said to you, 'Take up your bed and walk'?" The man who had been healed didn't know who it was, for Jesus had withdrawn as there was a crowd in that place.
I've got to stop you right there because this is so strange. So first they tell the man he's not allowed to carry his mat. But then in an explanation, the man who had just been healed after being paralyzed for almost 40 years passes the blame back to Jesus by saying, "Well, the man who healed me told me to carry my mat." This blows my mind. Jeff, please help me to understand this, because it seems to me that the obvious question that the religious leaders should have asked was, "Someone healed you?"
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was paralyzed. But that's not what they asked. Instead, they said, "Who told you to carry your mat?" It's like they're missing the main point here. Jesus has just performed a miracle and healed this man. Help me understand, what is going on here?
Look, what you said is right. The religious leaders at this time were really concerned about keeping the law and the commandments of God. So they created hundreds of extra rules or traditions for people to follow. Rules and traditions that weren't actually given by God to his people. So when the religious leaders ask the healed man why he's carrying the mat, they're showing that they still care more about their own rules and traditions than they care about this man, or than they care about Jesus' power and his love in healing the man. Their love for their rules keeps them from loving other people.
That makes so much more sense. So then the story continues, okay? So afterward, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "See that you are well. Sin no more, that nothing worse will happen to you." The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that Jesus was the one who had healed them. And this is why the Jewish leaders were persecuting Jesus, because he was doing these things on the Sabbath. But Jesus answered them, "My Father is working until now, and I am working." Okay, Jeff, I have got two pretty big questions about this passage. And kids at home, I would not be surprised if you had these same questions. First, what in the world does Jesus mean when he says to the man, "Sin no more, that nothing worse will happen to you"?
Great question, Clara. That's a question that I asked too. Let's start with what Jesus doesn't mean. We know that this does not mean that all suffering or sickness is because of somebody's sin. Later in John chapter 9, Jesus makes it clear that sometimes people suffer and are sick, not because of anything that they did wrong, but because our world isn't the way it's supposed to be. So we know that not all suffering or sickness is because of someone's sin. So we have to ask, what does Jesus mean here? It seems like Jesus is saying that this man's sickness was because of some sinful choices in his life. We know that our choices affect our lives, and that might be what happened to this man that Jesus healed.
Okay, I think I understand now.
Okay, so what's your other question?
Oh, right. Okay, so my second question is this. What does Jesus mean when he says, "My Father is working until now, and I am working"?
That's a great question. I think that what he's saying is that God is at work every day, sustaining all things and making all things new through his kingdom. Jesus is saying that he's doing that same work, the work of bringing God's kingdom into the world. See, his miracles are a picture of the healing and restoration that happens when God is the king. So Jesus is saying, I'm doing the same work as God the Father, the work of making all things new. So if Jesus is doing the same work as God, with the same power of God and the same love of God, that means that Jesus is God.
I see. Okay, that makes so much more sense, because the Jewish leaders, they wanted to seek out a way to kill Jesus because he called God his Father. Jesus has made himself an equal with God. And we see that this is true because in this miracle, Jesus displays his power over disease and sickness.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, the man didn't ask for the healing. We don't even know if he believed in Jesus or knew who he was, but Jesus healed him anyway. And the scriptures tell us that Jesus knew the man had been lame for 38 years. Isn't it comforting to know that God knows all the details of your life?
It absolutely is. So this miracle teaches us that Jesus has the power to heal our physical bodies. He's in control of everything. He simply asked the man, "Do you want to be healed?" Don't you think that seems like kind of an odd question, though? I mean, who wouldn't want to be healed?
Yeah, sure, it might sound odd to us. But remember, Claire, Jesus never asks something without a reason. There are people who are sick and don't want to be healed. And our sin is sometimes like that. Jesus wants to heal us from all the wrong things we do, but some people don't want to change and would rather keep on sinning. I do have a comforting thought, though.
What's that?
Well, Jesus didn't just heal this man. He is our ultimate Redeemer and healer, too. Jesus rescues us and saves us, and that's a miracle, too.
That's pretty encouraging. We sure covered a lot of ground today. And Jeff, I hope that the kids can remember all of it.
Yeah, I think that they can. I almost wish there was a way for us to test their biblical knowledge and make sure.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think so, but how will we get the 3 pink flamingos into 1 pair of capri pants?
What? No, that is not what I'm thinking at all. Jeff, I'm thinking it's time to play a round of
Know Your Bible!
Hi, kids, and welcome to Know Your Bible, the game show that tests your biblical knowledge. I'm your host, Jenny Giffler. Kids, I hope you were listening to our story today about the man who was healed by the pool so that you can play along. We've got a couple of amazing new friends playing today, so let's meet them now. First up is Gunther Hansel from Bavaria. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Why don't you show the kids where Bavaria is on the map?
Guten Tag. Yeah, I am Gunther and I am from Munich in Bavaria. I'm very happy to show you on the map, but Gunther does not see the map.
It's right over here, silly. Miss Natalie will put it in later and we can show everyone where Bavaria is. It's by that big old star right there. Friends, Bavaria is a state in Germany, and Germany is a part of Europe. Wow! What do you do in Bavaria?
Oh, well, perhaps you have heard of the Bavarian chocolates, yeah? Well, this is what Gunther does. I am a maker of the world's finest chocolates, and I've even brought a sample for you to taste.
I think we should meet our next contestant. She is from New York City. Put your hands together for Lexi Iris.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Gunther. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. This is such a quaint little studio. So yeah, I live in New York and I'm a publicist for up-and-coming media influencers and celebrities.
Ooh, that sounds super exciting. Well, we are so glad to have you two here playing in studio. But before we jump into our game, I think we need to take a look at today's prize.
Craft projects, DIYs, and minor home repairs will all be within your reach for the lucky winner of today's half-used duct tape roll.
Wow! Friends, that is neater than a freshly polished whiteboard. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Kids at home, are you ready? Okay, let's turn up those listening ears because here is your first question. Question number 1. In the miracle we learned about today, the man had been paralyzed for a long time. How long had he been paralyzed?
Okay, I think it was like a super duper long time, right? Okay, like this poor guy was trying to get into that pool day in and day out for like so long. I mean, can you even imagine?
You are very right, Lexi. It was a long time, but do you remember exactly how long?
So like 60 years.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not quite it.
Oh, I was listening very carefully. He had been that way for like 38 years. That is so very long.
That is very long. Let's check in. Kids at home, what do you think? Is 38 years correct? Of course it is. Great job, friends, and great job, Gunther.
Yay! Good job, Gunther. I will eat a chocolate in celebration. Will you try a chocolate with me as well?
Of course.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Ooh, thank you. I mean, It's delicious.
Okay, friends, I think it's time for question number 2. How did Jesus heal this man?
Oh, did he give him a special tonic?
Oh, Gunter, I'm so sorry. That's not quite right, but great effort.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I totally remember because this was like so amazing. So there that guy was just laying there, and all Jesus did was say to the man, pick up your mat and walk. That's all he did. Jesus just like spoke to the man, and then he was healed. It was a miracle.
That sure sounds miraculous. What do you think at home, kids? Is that what you said? That's exactly right. Friends, can you believe it? That was indeed a miracle. Jesus didn't need to do anything more than simply speak, and the man was healed. Great job, friends. Great job, Lexi.
Good job, Lexi. You win more chocolate.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, Gunter, what do you think about marketing this in the States? Like, is that something you've ever considered? Because I bet with my publicity skills, we could totally market this and it would be a smash in the States.
Oh, what a dream! I could be like the Willy Wonka.
Oh, wow, that sure would be amazing. I think you two are becoming some fast friends, and let's take a fast look at our scores. Oh, you guys are tied. This is going to be a close game. Okay, kids at home, make sure those thinking caps are on because it's time for our last question. Question number 3, and it's a tricky one. Why were the religious leaders angry at Jesus for healing the man? Kids, what do you think? Do you remember?
Okay, was it because they were like, I don't know, I want to be healed too? Okay, wait, no. Was it because they were jealous of Jesus and they felt like he was coming in and, I don't know, like stealing their thunder?
Oh, that's not quite right, Lexi, but that was great thinking. Gunter, do you know?
Yeah, I've always been confused by this. The religious leaders were so mad at Jesus for healing the man on the Sabbath day, because on the Sabbath day it would forbid him to do work. But then they were also mad at the man for picking up his mat and carrying it because they considered that to be work too. Why wouldn't they be happy for this man? He was paralyzed and now he's walking.
That sounds right to me, Gunter. What do you think? Friends at home, is that the right answer? Of course it is. Nicely done, friends, and great work, Gunter.
Oh, good for Gunter. This is a 2-chocolate victory.
Oh, wow. Well, kids, I hope you guys had a 2-chocolate victory at home, too. Thank you so much for playing with us today. Gunter, you are the winner of today's game, but Lexi, you were so close. I think that you both really, say it with me, know your Bible. See you next time, friends.
Well, that was sure fun. Guys, I hope you enjoyed playing along.
So, Claire, can you finally tell me what's going on with all the paper and markers, the glue, Band-Aids? What are we doing here?
Of course. So in today's story, we learned about a man who had been sick for a long time. And Jesus performed a miracle by healing him. It's really awesome to see miracles like this. And God can and for sure does still work in mighty ways to heal people, but that doesn't mean that we don't get hurt or sick anymore. God does promise to heal those that trust in him, but it's not the healing that we might be thinking, right? He heals us from our sin.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There are a lot of hard things that happen in our lives, including sickness and pain. Things that we can't explain and maybe won't be able to explain until Christ returns and makes all things right again.
Exactly. So with that in mind, I thought a fun paper craft would be to make a get well card. So I thought we would do a get well card demonstration. I saw this on Pinterest and I thought it would be really fun to make one. It's wishing you a speedy recovery with a Band-Aid man running.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Do you think you could try to make one with me?
Of course, I'm gonna need some help, and maybe you could show me.
So step one is
That's
gonna be
great.
to get a piece of paper and fold it in half.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds great.
Now, while you do that, I'm gonna get some Band-Aids out and open. So you can make a Band-Aid guy with just regular Band-Aids and draw a smiley face on him, or I found these these ones.
Oh, that.
These have emoji faces.
Oh,
How
that's
fun
perfect.
is that?
Yeah.
So put a Band-Aid, put a
Okay.
Band-Aid man. And then how about this one? This guy's laughing really hard. He's like a crying face guy.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, you can put that on his face.
Perfect.
That's adorable. And then you just draw little arms and legs. I like to use washi tape. Do you ever use this to decorate it?
I haven't heard of that, but I like that. That
Yeah,
sounds
so
great.
you
I think
can
my
kind
kids
of-
will love that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so you just draw like a little body on him
Okay.
and write whatever you want. You can say, get well soon, wishing you a speedy recovery, anything that you like. Jeff, your card looks really great.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
This is a great idea. I love it.
Me too. So I think it is really meaningful to send a card to a person who's sick or hurting. Hey, you know what? There is only one thing left to do today, and that is review our memory verse for this unit. Guys, the verse that we are memorizing is from John, and it says, "But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." That's from John 20, verse 31. As we learn about the miracles that Jesus performed, we see that he is all powerful. Nothing is too hard for him, and he is in control of all things.
Yeah, that's right. And when I see how he saves others, I'm reminded that he's saving me too. And that's an awesome thing.
Thanks for joining us. Now, if you are sitting, stand up and shake your wiggles out, and let's move and sing to this next worship song together. And we will look forward to seeing you back here next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
You spoke one word and the dark became light. I believe it, yeah. You spoke my name and my heart came to life. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it, I wanna scream and shout it. I'm gonna sing it right now. At the top of my lungs I sing. With all of my heart I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason I lift my voice. At the top of my lungs I'll sing. With all of my heart I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason I lift my voice. At the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. You're all I need every day of my life. I believe it, yeah. You're all I need, always here by my side. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it, I wanna scream and shout it. I wanna sing it right now. At the top of my lungs I'll sing. With all of my heart I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice. At the top of my lungs I'll sing. With all of my heart I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice. At the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. At the top of my lungs. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna sing it out. At the top of my lungs. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I wanna sing it right now. At the top of my lungs I'll sing. With all of my heart I will praise you. God, you are